everyone, welcome back to our top 10 series where we give you super cool, awesome top 10 lists. I'm Court McGinley. Today we have the top 10 list of things you should never Google part 2. Because it was just so much fun grossing you guys out with facts the first time around, we figured, hey, let's do it again. But before I start listing off the gross content that's headed your way, I want to know, what is your favorite type of content to watch on YouTube? Let me know your answer down in the comments. Like the first video, I'm going to warn you, some of these things are pretty gross. Unfortunately, we are going to have to show you some cover pics. Yeah, I know, I'm telling you guys not to look at these things, yet we're showing you pictures. Weird. But if anything sounds like something you really don't want to see, then I suggest you cover your eyes until we move on to the next topic. Alright, let's get started. Coming in at our number 10 spot, we have the mucus plug. Now, as I was scripting this, looking at these pictures, they did make me gag a little, I'm not gonna lie. I just can't handle something that looks like this. It's just little and squishy. Ugh. Some are red, others are transparent. Basically, if you're squeamish, do not Google this. Release of the mucus plug is a sign for pregnant women that labor is approaching and that the baby is coming. The mucus plug blocks the cervix since early on in the woman's pregnancy to help prevent infections. And as your cervix prepares for labor, the plug is released. I can't even look at this plug. How am I going to get through labor one day? Who knows? Coming in at number 9, Rate My Poo. Yes, this is an actual site. Save yourself from the grossness and do not go on this site. This is basically a site where people post pictures of their poo and other people view the pictures and rate them, and they tell you what your poo might be trying to say. It's just something you could go your whole life without looking at. And at number 8, we have spider babies. Now, it's a pretty well-known fact that a lot of people, they don't like spiders. But what's worse than spiders? Swarms of little spider babies that can crawl all over you and creep you out. When you Google this, you see swarms of all these little spiders that you just start to itch because it's like you can actually feel them on you. Then some of the pictures are of them swarming the mother's body. Like, it's just so many, and the way they scatter about and move around, it just freaks me out. Then some pictures are close-ups and you can see their little beady eyes and just so creepy. Clearly, I'm not a fan of spiders. And at number 7, we have the anglerfish. This is definitely a creepy underwater creature that you would not want to cross paths with. This scary fish was actually featured in Finding Nemo. You know, that fish that had huge mangled sharp teeth and its eyes were all lit up and it had that little dangly ball on top of its head that lit up? Yeah, that really messed up looking fish. But in a non-animated version, they are even creepier. And as it turns out, these big creepy fish are females. Male anglerfish are actually much smaller and appear less threatening. And at number 6, Bloody Mary. Now, I'm not talking about the vodka tomato mixed drink that you shove a piece of celery into. I'm talking about the other Bloody Mary. I don't know about you guys, but I have never ever said Bloody Mary into a bathroom mirror 3 times with the lights off because I do think something bad's gonna happen. But also, you're not supposed to Google a picture of her either. Well, it's okay to Google it once, but you're not supposed to Google it, stare at the picture, and say her name 3 times. So on Google, along with many pictures of the beloved beverage, it also shows some pretty scary pictures of Mary. And at number 5, possession. Okay, now you don't want to Google this, 1, because there are a lot of creepy pics of possessed people that come up, 1 in particular, the chick from The Exorcist, and 2, you look at the articles and there are so many creepy stories about possession that you probably just don't want to know about. Moving on to number 4, Crocodile. Basically, this is a derivative of morphine with powerful, fast-acting opiate effects. And if you're like, what the heck does that mean? Take comfort in the fact that you are not alone. The pictures are basically terrifying. You have this really ashy white hand with black holes in it, legs with holes, arms that are half deteriorating. Yeah, just a bunch of unpleasant stuff. There's holes everywhere. Basically, it looks like the Holes movie that Shia LaBeouf starred in. So yeah, looking at this, it's gonna make you somewhat nauseous. On to number 3, wet koalas. Before Googling this, I had lovely images of sweet, cuddly little koalas dancing around in my head. You know, like the koala from The Adventures of Blinky Bill. So cute. No, it's before your time, you don't know what I'm talking about? Okay, moving on then. Wet koalas are one of the most scary looking creatures out there, especially ones with their mouths open. Oh my god. Their cute fluffy fur just flattens down and they're all skinny and creepy and gangly. Not the most pleasant thing to look at. And if a wet koala still isn't creepy enough looking for you and you still want to pick one up, maybe this will change your mind. As it turns out, up to 90% of koalas are infected with chlamydia, which for those of you who don't know is an STD. And the way they transfer it to humans is by peeing on you. Yeah, thinking about it, these guys are actually kind kinda gross. In at the number 2 spot, Grudge Girl in the Mirror. This is a video clip that is based off the Japanese and American legend that is the Grudge Girl who will attack you from the mirror. The Grudge Girl peeps at you from the mirror very abruptly, and it's super frightening. This girl is really realistic and she peers at you through the mirror and reaches out to scratch your eyes out. No thanks. Alright, we talked about some pretty weird yet scary things you should never Google, but in our number 1 spot, we have something incredibly heartbreaking that unless you want to bawl your eyes out, you should never Google it. In our number 1 spot, we have the end of Toy Story 3. This is probably one of the most heartbreaking things you'll ever see in your whole life. In this movie, Andy is finally going off to college, so he decides it's time to part with his beloved toys from his childhood. He hands off each one of his toys one by one to a little girl. Then when it comes to giving her Woody, he just looks at him in sadness since this was his favorite toy growing up and he was originally planning on keeping him. And then, you know, you just cry. Andy joins the girl and plays with his toys one last time. Then the sad music hits and Andy gets in the car, and before driving off he looks at his toys one last time and says, "Bye guys." And then you bawl your eyes out. We all grew up watching the love Andy had for his toys, so this is just an emotional scene and it really tugs at the heartstrings. So don't Google this unless you want to cry non-stop for 5 minutes. Well, there you guys have it. This is our list of top 10 things you should never Google part 2. Let me know down in the comments which one you thought was the top thing not to Google, and let me know if there's anything I missed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments which top 10 list you would like to see in an upcoming video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, tell friends and family for more awesome top 10 lists. We have more super cool lists up over here. And as always, you guys can follow me on Instagram at CourtMcGinley.